Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back to my channel. Well, today for our Friday project we're going to be making a Z fold card. The other day I was watching somebody else do a slightly different adaptation on this tutorial. It looked the same, but they did it slightly differently and they called it a zigzag card. I've never seen it called that before, so that was quite interesting. But I'm going to stick with the term Z fold card or Z fold card, and the reason it's called that is when you stand it up it looks like the letter Z or the letter Z. So, but I can understand, I can see why people thought it was a zigzag, because you've got that zigzaggy bit there. So we'll call it a Z fold card. And for this one, you will need a piece of, well, I'm using white, but you can use any plain colour you like. And this measures 11.5 by 5 inches. And all of these measurements will be in the description below. And then on that, I'm going to put a piece of patterned paper that measures 4.5 by 4.5. And what I'm just going to very quickly do, I've got my patterned paper, very pretty. I'm just going to pop that up there. And we're just going to pop some glue on the back of this piece of paper. This is just an ordinary glue stick, but you can use whatever adhesive you like. And the thing about using glue rather than tape is that it gives you time to get the thing into place. So if you haven't quite got it where you want it the first time, although I'm quite happy with that, you've got a bit of time to move it around. And you will need a plain piece which measures 4 by 4. And that's it's not totally plain, but it's a sort of plain colour. I suppose you call it marble. But if you want to use a completely plain card, you can, that's absolutely no problem. But this one I found in one of my paper drawers. So I've got several drawers where I keep papers, and they're all, some are 12 by 12, some are A4, some are scraps. This is actually from my scraps drawer. So there we go. And on this bit, we'll come to this part in a minute, but we're going to put our sentiment here. You can leave it blank if you want to. There's plenty of room on the back to write your message. But I'm going to skip this part just for a moment, and I'm going to move over to this part. And you will need the same type, well, if you want to use the same type you can, of pattern paper. And that measures 2.5 by 4.5 inches, that is. So again, I'm just going to pop some glue on the back. It looks like I need a new glue stick out pretty soon. Hopefully I've got enough. But if I haven't, I've got a red runner tape to fall back on, so it's no big deal. So if you like your if you like a little border, I tend to like a border, just make it smaller. But if you want to make your mat the same size as this, you will need it to be, I think it's 2.5, no it's not, it's 3, sorry, 3 by 5 if you want a full cover. Otherwise we'll use the measurements we've got here. And one plain piece which is 2 by 4 inches. So we'll put that on there like that. And I can't remember whether I said, but this bit here you score at 3 and at 6 inches. If I didn't say that, that's where it is now. But all the measurements you need will be in the description box anyway, so don't worry about it. But you need to score that first piece at 3 and 6 inches, if I didn't say that at the beginning. It's still quite hot here, so my brain doesn't function when it's hot. It doesn't seem to function any other time either, but particularly when it's hot, it doesn't function terribly well. So there we go. So just to recap, you score this piece at 3 and at 6. And to make it into your Z fold card, what you do, the easiest way, never mind about mountain folder and valley folder or anything like that, just fold that part, which will be the front, just fold it over and then fold this bit back again. That's the easiest way to remember it, and then you'll have a very neat little 5 by 5 card and it will come out that way. And I have got a sentiment which simply says happy birthday. So because they're birds and it's blue, it can be for any gender. It doesn't matter who it's for. This can be for anybody. So I'm going to use my red runner tape for this because I know my glue stick is rapidly running out. I've got to get another one out soon. And if you wanted to put a mat here, you can. I'm actually going to leave it white just to give it a little bit of a break. And I'm going to put mine roughly in the middle. As long as you keep it within your score lines, don't let it go over your score lines. Whatever you put here, don't let it go over your score lines or it won't fold. So this is my sentiment, and my sentiment image is roughly 3 by 3, as is my top image, which is that one. And I think it probably came from the same pack. In fact, I'm pretty sure it did. And what we're going to do with this one is we're going to work out where we want it first of all. And what we don't do, we don't put adhesive all over it. What we're going to do for this one, again, I'm going to use my red runner tape. Just make sure we've got it on the correct side. So we only put adhesive onto just a small section. So we're going to load that up fairly vigorously and just put it on so that the adhesive is slightly back from the join. Otherwise it'll stick. It'll stick to the next part and it won't open. It'll just shut, it'll stick shut. So you just stick that down. If you want a bigger piece to cover a wider area, you can, that's up to you. Mine's a bit, again, about a 3 by 3, slightly. So I didn't measure it, but they're roughly, this one might be about a 2 by 2 actually, but it doesn't really matter. As long as it stays within the remit of the folds, the crease lines, you can use whatever size you like. And then when you're done with your card, it will sit like that. When you open it up, you've got a happy birthday. If you flip it back, you've got a happy birthday. It will stand like that on a mantelpiece or on a windowsill or a shelf. And if you want it to stand up, it'll stand up like that, although that's quite difficult to see from where my camera is. But it'll stand like that. It folds up very neatly, so it'll go into an envelope, and you've got plenty of room to write your message on the back, a personal message on the back. Or if you wanted to, you could keep this part just a plain white and maybe put a sentiment there and write your message there. So it's entirely up to you how you do this. So there is our project for today, our Z fold card or Z fold card. And I hope you enjoy it and you have a go yourself. And if you do have a go yourself, please do pop over to our Facebook group, Crafty Capers with Dawn, and come and show us your versions. Maybe you've done a different size or done it in a different way. Come and show us your way and your lovely colours. And we'd love to see you there. And in the meantime, I will bid you a farewell. Have a wonderful weekend. Sorry about that. And I will see you next Tuesday. And until then, take care everybody. Have fun. And as always, happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.